this is Matt Love back with you on our Campfire side chat, and today I have a special guest with us that many of you, if you've been at camp, the last 50 years,
Whoa!
no,
Wait a minute.
20 years, you will recognize Nurse Jen, and so glad that she can be a part of our Campfire side chat today. So, Nurse Jen, how long have you been involved in camp? Not just the nursing side, but as part of camp ministry.
Wow. Well, when you grow up in camp, like you're birthed into camp, that's a long time. So I would have to disclose my age. So, goodness, close to 40 years. There was some time that I wasn't at camp, so I really didn't say my whole age. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There were 6 years that we lived away. Yeah.
Right. And so she'd have at least 1 year up on me, because who's the oldest. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is me. Even though I like everybody to think he's the oldest.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, in the last 40 years, have you ever seen anything quite like what we're facing right now with COVID-19?
No, not at camp. Nothing that's ever affected camp. There have been concerns about things that have come up, such as measles or other outbreaks that I've had to say at the beginning of camp, hey, we need to be looking at this. This could affect camp. Whooping cough was another one. But then those things never came to fruition. Like it just never happened. I've never seen a situation like this. Now, as far as like surreal things that have happened, there was one time a few years ago where we had so much rain and Lake James flooded. And if us growing up at Lake James, that is not something that has ever happened in our lifetime. And to see that was kind of crazy, watching the boats float away and the docks float away and having to go get them. And then it was over Labor Day weekend, and so they shut the lake down. And we're used to hearing the sounds of the boats and the sounds of the jet skis and the smell of the gas. And that weekend there was none of that. And it was so peaceful and calm. I'll never forget it. But as far as something like a virus like this,
Right.
No.
Right. And so, that was an example of one weekend, but out of that, we remember that weekend, and we remember some really cool things that happened, that it was quiet, people enjoyed their sailboats, their kayaks, and things they hadn't done for a long time. How does that parallel right now with what's going on? And kind of, our worlds have been flipped upside down the last couple weeks. What are some things that you're seeing? You're like, even though we're going through a trying time, these are some good things that are going on.
Sure. Well, I remember that time being a time of family and a time of togetherness. And I see that happening in this time as well. So we're all supposed to be at home and be with our families. And so that, I think, is precious, and just a time of that extra time that we have to interact with our family members, to maybe spend more quality time with God that we've been so busy and we haven't taken that time to spend with Him. And just taking a slower pace and stepping back and reevaluating what's really important in life. I think that's really has been a neat thing that's come out of this so far.
Right. Yeah, yesterday I was at the store getting some remaining groceries to get through the next 2 weeks, and I picked up the game Trouble, and my kids have been having a blast playing that game. And boy, we haven't played games in a long time. Something else that our family's done just sporadically over the last couple weeks, after dinner, we'll gather around the piano, and my wife will play, and we sing hymns and praise songs, and just things we haven't done in a long time that we're like, why haven't we done this? So I just want to encourage you, as families, it is challenging. I know for many of you, parents getting laid off, or The kids are all home and you're trying to find people to care for them and watch them and concerned about that, but also don't miss the blessings.
For
Yeah,
sure.
don't miss the blessings.
Right.
So we've been talking a little bit about community in our homes, and I want to transition a little bit into community at camp. And our mission statement here at Lake James Christian Camp is that we would promote community and spiritual transformation in a natural setting. And we do that through biblical teaching, through life testimony, and through physical activities. And a lot of those things are about togetherness, and that's what camp's all about, is community, being together. And when we can't do those things, we get kind of anxious, and when we want to get together and want to meet together. So what are you seeing in society at the moment? How is that affecting people wanting to be in community, and what dangers are there right now, I'd say, with especially our young people? Because I'm reading a lot of young people are still gathering, or going to Florida or whatever. Can you speak into that
Yeah.
for us?
So I think we were wired when God made us to be people in community with one another. God created us to be in community with Him and to be in community with each other. And so to be told that we need to be social distancing from everybody is really hard. That's difficult. So some of the research that I've seen in the United States, a third of our population that has the COVID-19 virus are people between the ages of 20 to 44. So that's our young adults. Those are our high schoolers that have just graduated from camp, okay? COVID-19, I think, because we've told it only affects the older people, we don't realize that even if you're not showing symptoms of it, as a teenager or as a young adult, you could still be carrying the virus, all right? So you can still be giving it to your parents or your grandparents. So even though it's so difficult and so hard to not be in community right now, I just want to encourage each of you, if you're a parent or a grandparent right now watching this, or if you're school age or high school, take the advice of what they're telling you and stay home, all right? And that's going to prevent the spread of this virus. It's just really important that we follow those instructions, even though it is so hard and it's the last thing we want to do. And we're wired for camp. I mean, we love relationships and we love that community. But right now, we need to not.
Good advice. But if, like, grandma and grandpa need something from the grocery store or something
Sure.
like that, that's still okay, right? I mean, we had a neighbor just recently needed something. We dropped something at their doorstep, and we said, hey, we'll see you later. And they're older. We don't want them to come into contact with something with the COVID-19. So
Absolutely. Any way that we can help our grandparents and our great-grandparents, getting those supplies for them. If we can be the ones to go to the grocery store for them and leave that at their front door for them and then go, that would be a really good way to minister to them and to bless them.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And to be honest, all of us are saying, man, I want to get out there. I want to do something. I want to help. I want to be a part of solving this for our community, for our families, and that's a good thing. And I've seen so many creative things people are doing. In our part 2 of this episode with Nurse Jen, we're going to talk about some things and some ways the camp's trying to help out, and also how this is going to look and impact our summer camp program.